Welcome inside the Acres Broadcast Center. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is your Sports Nightly Ticker. Husker men's basketball is on the road to Michigan ahead of their game tomorrow night against the Wolverines in Ann Arbor. Before they departed, Derek Walker sat down with the media to discuss the upcoming matchup and how what he specifically has learned defending their talented front court in the Huskers' prior meeting with Michigan this season.
I need like 2 more inches of height. But no, I found throughout those games where I would pick up just stupid, just physical fouls. And I just realized I had to be more mental than physical, especially when playing big dudes like that. So yeah, to prevent myself from being in foul trouble, I just got to be smarter and make better decisions.
You'll hear more from the men's basketball team and Coach Hoiberg in Hour 2 tonight. Huskers athletics were once again well represented by their freshmen in the Big Ten Weekly Awards. Nebraska had not 1, not 2, but 3 student athletes bring home Big Ten Freshman of the Week honors following their performances last week. Women's basketball forward Alexis Markowski won the award for the 5th time this season after averaging 19 points and 7.5 boards in 2 wins last week. To top it off, Markowski also earned her first Big Ten Weekly Honor Roll award of her career. Men's basketball guard Bryce McGowens won Freshman of the Week for the 4th time in his stellar freshman year, as the 5-star racked up averages of 26 points and 5 rebounds in contests with number 11 Wisconsin and unranked Rutgers last week. He now sits 2nd nationally among true freshmen, averaging 16.7 points per game. And men's gymnast Chris Heiser earned his first ever Big Ten Freshman of the Week award after scoring a career-best 13.45 on the floor in Michigan on Saturday, placing 7th overall at the meet against the Wolverines. Huskers track and field maintained their 12th overall ranking in the country in the latest USTF CCCA poll. And finally, remember that the tickets are now on sale for the Huskers game against Northwestern that will take place in Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland in August. Visit huskers.com/tickets for more information. Looking at the college basketball scoreboard tonight, one Big Ten men's game is on, and it's just underway as Iowa is in Happy Valley to take on Penn State. And in the top 25, our producer Andrew's Duke Blue Devils are taking on 14-6 Notre Dame. That one's just underway as well. It's 7-2 Duke in the early going. And at 8 p.m., West Virginia is down in Texas to battle Baylor. On the women's side tonight, 2 Grade A Big Ten matchups are on the slate, and just getting started is the battle of number 5 Indiana in Ann Arbor to take on Noz Hillman and number 6 Michigan. Michigan is out ahead early in that one. Later tonight at 8 p.m., number 23 Ohio State will tip off against number 21 Iowa. That's the ticker. My name is Tim Mulhaupt, and this is Sports Nightly on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Rebound Weidner. Huskers, 5-point lead in the ball. Weidner right down the middle of the lane, running one hand. Baker good. Allison Weidner. Stand up, Humphrey, Nebraska. She's got 7.
Tries to jam it. Shot is blocked by Trey McGowens. Run down by Webster. What a defensive play. Here comes Trey. Webster. Trey McGowens to Bryce McGowens. The drive. Puts it up and in. Holy cow. The offensive play of the year for Nebraska.
Trapped in the deep right corner. Bounces
Great
back up.
pass.
Moriarty scores off the assist from Monica Stewart. And another timeout by Wisconsin.
Great activity by Kendall Moriarty. And the return pass on the give and go. The skip pass, deep right corner, 3 on the way. Trey got it down. The Tracer with a tray.
Markowski for 3. And Alexis Freakowski. Another Freakowski for Alexis.
That, she hardly looked.
Holy cow.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Welcome. It's another week of Sports Nightly here on the Huskers Radio Network. Hope you had a good weekend. Beautiful day today. Man, I saw actual young folks walking around campus in their shorts.
Yeah.
Today.
I mean, if your baseball, softball teams love today, and it's getting cold again soon, though, right?
Tomorrow.
Oh.
Tomorrow late in the day.
So it's short-lived.
Yeah, and then it's back down to 0. So, yeah, that's hard on the body.
His little teaser, it was just, man, it was absolutely beautiful today, no doubt.
Fantastic day out there today, so hope you had a chance to get outside and enjoy some of that, because as Jessica said, it's going to cool off here soon. But, yeah, here we are. We're about ready to flip the calendar to the month of February, which is going to be a hot time for college basketball, a lot of big conference matchups. And doggone it, I really thought the men had it Saturday night. I thought they were going to get that. They led, Jessica, for 38 minutes of that game and could not hang on.
I mean, we said it before that was the game. We felt like that was the game. I was there. I felt like the whole time, like they've got this in the bag. Like, this is the game that they're winning. They controlled it the whole time, but man, just kind of the same issues. Could not find a way to score. They just had a couple of long lulls that you just can't have, and Rutgers was able to get back into it, and God, just heartbreaking because that was it. And they just, need a win to feed the confidence. But Bryce McGowan's was special.
Terrific.
Again. Yeah.
He's played so well, and thus, as Tim just told you in the ticker, named Big Ten Freshman of the Week, 29 points. He was really good. I thought Trey played well. Didn't have Alonzo Verge. We'll talk more about that later. And they missed him. They missed his ability to get some buckets.
Yeah, and I thought, the guys that kind of stepped in and filled in for him did a good job. But he's just such a dynamic playmaker with the ball in his hands. He can get to the rim. And I mean, I think is he still leading the Big Ten in assists? If he's not first,
he's right there.
he's second.
Close. Yeah.
So, as much as, sometimes people want to say that he has some bad shot selections, he still does get his teammates involved a lot. And I don't think that's a role that, I know it's a role that Trey has played in the past, but it's not one that he's had to play this year. So I just, and I know Kobe does a good job coming off the bench, but I mean, Verge is just a guy that, can really get to the rim at ease almost at times against some of these teams. And then also the way he gets guys involved. The assist numbers were down on Saturday as well because of, I think, Verge not being in the lineup.
Kobe had a really tough night shooting the basketball. I remember him having lights out against Creighton early in the year. He just really couldn't find the bottom of the bucket in that game. But I feel for that team because you're right. They just need something positive to give them a little boost. Now they're back on the road. They'll play at Michigan tomorrow night. The coach had a press conference today before they departed for Ann Arbor. We'll hear some of those comments for you coming up in hour number 2. The Husker women are in the midst of a 4-game homestand, and their toughest matchup of the 4 was yesterday's game with Purdue. Purdue had a couple girls get hurt in that game, which helped Nebraska. But again, it was really solid execution by Amy Williams' team. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think once again you saw the different kind of weapons that can step up any given night. I mean, look at Allison Weidner. She's
Terrific.
A favorite of ours around here. I think she's kind of becoming a fan favorite, maybe overshadowed a little bit by Alexis Markowski, who probably is going to be the Big Ten Freshman of the Year, and you can put her in the conversation
send it
of
to her now.
National Player or Freshman of the Year. But Allison Weidner is going to be an absolute stud for this program, and I think she already is. And the spark she provided off the bench. So and she had a career high 14 points all in the first half. That's another player that we hadn't really seen do that. I mean,
right.
She's had some flashes and some big moments and made some big plays, but she hadn't come off the bench and scored 14 points. And so it just again shows another element that teams are going to have to be ready for and prepare for. It is a nightmare because they have got a number of players that can step up on any given night.
Good win for them. They're now 4-4 in the league. Play again tomorrow against an 0-for Rutgers team. They are 0-10 in conference play, and then we'll finish off the homestand Thursday night with Penn State, who's another team in the bottom part of the standings. So we said a couple of weeks ago, right before the shutdown happened with COVID, that this was the part of the schedule where Nebraska could really get healthy, build the resume, build the record, and that is happening. And we'll hear from Allison Weidner coming up a little bit later on in the program as well. But they're back on the court tomorrow night, PBA, 7 o'clock, against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. I want to have a little bit of fun tonight. Because last week, Scott Docterman of The Athletic, who we've had on the program from time to time, had a story out last week quoting Iowa's AD Gary Barta that the league is talking about doing away with divisions for football and that they would protect 3 teams that you would play every year, and then you'd rotate the rest of the conference to fill out your conference schedule. Now, I will put this caveat that we had Trev Alberts on that very night, his athletic director show, and we brought it up, and he said, he says, Gary might be jumping a little ahead. He goes, we've talked about that. He says, but we're not close to making that decision. But I'd love to get people's thoughts, Jessica. Okay, if the Huskers have 3 permanent teams to play every year on the football field, is it Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin? I think everybody kind of thinks that's the simplest way to go because those are the closest teams geographically here. Is that the right way to go? To me, it kind of makes some sense. I think definitely Iowa has to be on that schedule. Wisconsin, I think's become a bit of a rivalry. I don't know about Minnesota. I know it's close and it's a fun trip to go to the Twin Cities and lots to do, but I don't know. I don't know if that's the one you would want. And honestly, I'm not sure. I know Iowa would want to have Nebraska. I don't know if Minnesota and Wisconsin would like to have Nebraska, but just looking at it from the Nebraska standpoint, should those be the 3 that you play every year?
So, and how many is it total that you play?
Well, they're debating to go whether come back to 8.
Okay.
It's 9 now. There's talk, could they slide it back to 8? And part of the reason that the talk is to come to 8 is the alliance that we told everybody about in the summer with the Pac-12 and the ACC, that maybe 2 of your 4 non-conference games are against a team from each one of those leagues. So if let's say it's 8, and you get 3 permanent rivals that you're going to play every year, home and away, you're going to play them every year, would those be your 3?
I think so, and I think too, just even geographically, like Minnesota was
it's a great trip.
It's a great trip, easy to drive to. You can have a lot of fans there. It's one that you can guarantee that you can get to every year if it's on the road. And yeah, I mean, with the history with Wisconsin, I mean, I think you got to leave Iowa, obviously, but it'll be fascinating to see if you have the 3, how every school has their 3.
I know,
right? Like, because then it all has to work together in a puzzle. Like, just because we have our 3, well, like you said, Minnesota might not have that 3.
Yeah.
And so it's how, I mean, you obviously with Ohio State and Michigan. Well, Michigan is going to have Ohio State, Michigan State, Penn State, right?
Those would have to be their 3.
And so then how do you factor in the other schools with the 3 that you absolutely have?
And is that balanced? I mean, if Ohio State
and that's what I was thinking. It's not balanced. Like, well, give me a third team. Give me a third team that's beatable every year.
Right.
So,
and for Ohio State, obviously they want to play Michigan. They would probably get Penn State, but who's the third one? I don't know. In Minnesota, and I go to Minnesota maybe not wanting the Huskers. Well, Minnesota has a trophy, the little brown jug, I believe is the name of the trophy, with Michigan. Now, they don't play Michigan every year, but that goes back 100 years. Minnesota might go, we want to keep playing Michigan as much as possible. We really don't have a trophy with Nebraska. But from the Husker standpoint, I'd love to get people's thoughts on this. If you do, 402-413-2400 with a call or a text. If the Big Ten goes this direction and they protect 3 teams that you will play every year on the football field, is it Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa for you? For me, it probably is. I don't want Ohio State. I don't want to do that every year.
I mean, maybe Purdue.
Maybe. Illinois.
I was going to say Illinois. If it's, you look at I got the teams pulled up here, like Northwestern, Indiana.
I know Husker fans like going to Chicago, too. They probably wouldn't mind Northwestern staying on there.
So, I don't know. I mean, it's... it'd be interesting to see, too, how do you go about having those 3? Is it, I mean, you have to factor in rivalries, but I don't know, maybe it's not always rivalries and you rotate some of those rivalries and try to build up new kind of heated rivalries with some other teams within the conference. I don't know. I mean, it'd be fascinating if that's how it went to, how they would shake it out and determine which 3 teams were everybody's 3 teams.
Well, again, the 3 that were floated out there for Nebraska are those 3. It makes a lot of sense to me, but I'd love to hear Husker fans' thoughts. Is there somebody you would like to play every year in the Big Ten Conference other than one of those 3? I think everybody would be dead set that Iowa has to be one of those 3. So if you have some thoughts, dot us up on our...
So then how would it break down with who wins the Big Ten? It'd still be records and...
Top 2 teams.
Yeah. So...
Because they're tired of the, even though in the divisional, the West and the East, the records are pretty even. But the West hasn't won a title game in like 7 years.
Right, yeah.
It's been the East has won every year. So people are like, well, what? Maybe the 2 best teams are out of the East every year. So why are we get away with that? And so maybe it is Michigan and Ohio State playing, or Michigan and Penn State playing, or Ohio State and Penn State playing.
Yeah. Which, I mean, if those are the 2 best teams, which, as you said, we've seen a lot of it be dominated by Ohio State. But yeah, it'd be as far as how it is broken up with the standings and all that, like which other teams, how you factor it in on the schedule as well.
Our Sports Sunday Hotline brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance and buy online at woodhouse.com. Also, when we come back, Jessica was over in Ireland a couple of months ago to see what this game's going to look like between the Huskers and Northwestern over in Dublin next August. We're going to hear a little interview that she did while she was over there. By the way, tickets went on sale today. Single game tickets, you didn't have to buy a whole package and the airfare and all that. You just got to buy the football tickets. They went on sale today. So if you missed it today, you can get to it at Huskers.com or call the ticket office tomorrow as well. All right, back with more of the show, including a chat with someone from Ireland and some of your calls coming up next.
You're in the driver's seat with Woodhouse. Shop, finance, and buy your next vehicle your way. From the comfort of your home at Woodhouse.com, one of our 19 dealerships, or a combination of both. It's that easy. Plus, offering the most wanted new makes and leading pre-owned models, your next vehicle is on the lot or on its way. Shop confidently with the Woodhouse team today. Serving customers and communities since 1975. This is Woodhouse.
From vintage sneakers to bacon-scented soap to water fountains for your pet, all can be had with a few simple clicks. Problem is, you never really know what you're going to get until they show up at your door. Introducing Ford Blue Advantage. It's used car buying that's built for you. Not only can you shop for used vehicles online, in person, or both, you can also test drive before you buy, so you know exactly what you're getting. Plus, get history reports, vehicle inspections, Ford warranties, and the expertise of factory-trained techs. Visit FordBlueAdvantage.com today.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska researchers are designing the next generation of roadside steel barriers through an industry partnership with Trafix Devices. This partnership has produced the Delta Crash Cushion, a simplistic, effective way to keep drivers safe on highways. This barrier is vital for roadside safety and significantly improves the chances motorists will be able to walk away from roadside collisions.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
This isn't the start. Before I got here, I started training. And before that, I did something to my back. But my first move was Athletico Physical Therapy. That's where I'd eventually end up. So why not start there? I mean, my therapist immediately found the source of my pain. These are the same physical therapists who work with elite marathon runners. So soon, I was back to running, but without pain. You got this.
It all starts at Athletico. Schedule your free assessment at athletico.com.
Did you know that cigarette butts make up a large portion of microplastics in the ocean, which end up in 70% of seabirds and 30% of sea turtles? Bank of the West is helping to solve this problem by not financing big tobacco, proving that what a bank chooses not to finance can be just as important as what it does. Learn more about what we do and don't finance at bankofthewest.com/change. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
From sprains and stitches to sore throats and sinus infections, when it's care that can't wait, count on CHI Health Clinic Priority Care. Simply walk in 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You'll get the quality care you need without an appointment, and you'll never pay more than a regular primary care visit. Get in, get out, and get on with your day. Find a location near you at chihealth.com/priority care.
Cornerstone Bank proudly serves Nebraska with a full line of loan and deposit products. Cornerstone is large enough to handle all of your financial needs while offering the personal service you deserve and the local decision-making you expect from a family-owned community bank. Stop in or call one of the Cornerstone Bank locations near you to discover the Cornerstone difference. Bank on a solid foundation. Cornerstone Bank, Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Loan subject to approval. Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Monday night. 402-413-2400, the number to dial us up with a comment or question, or you can fire off a text on the text line. We're talking about 3 permanent rivals. Red from Alliance said, why not play the best? Well, I don't, Red, that the best kind of changes year. What, would you want them to play Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State every year?
Yeah, I mean, even Purdue came on this year and was a much better team. So
yeah. All right, let's go to the phones. Richard in Lincoln's up first tonight. Good evening, Richard.
Good evening. I have kind of a different topic to discuss, and that is kind of out of left field. We have Caitlin Horde from Penn State.
Yeah. How about that?
In the transfer portal and coming to Nebraska.
Yeah, how about that? We got Lauren Cook coming up at the top of the next hour to come talk all about that.
Okay, very good. I'll look forward to hearing her comments. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Richard. Appreciate it. That's huge news that popped yesterday that John Cook he's gotten in the transfer portal. Caitlin Horde, a 4-time All-American middle blocker from a rival, Penn State. Had made it known that she wanted to transfer or change a coach there. Russ Rose, the longtime legendary coach, retired at Penn State. And, man, what a get. I mean, you talk about just adding a top-notch player to what should be an incredible team coming back. Wow.
well, especially at middle blocker when you're losing Lauren Stivrins. So that's a massive get. And someone that's competed in the Big Ten, knows that it's completely different, as we've heard, so many times, and I've learned this year that it's sometimes harder to win the Big Ten than it is to go on a run in the NCAA tournament. So here's a player that's experienced that and has battled in the Big Ten. So yeah, huge get.
Sure is. And there's still a little uncertainty with Kayla Caffey. I think the Huskers feel confident that they're going to get her eligible for next year, but with the NCAA involved, you never know. So what a big get. Yeah, Lauren Cook's going to join us at the top of our. A lot of things to talk about with the volleyball program, with the promotion of Kelly Hunter to a full-time assistant, and with Nicklin Hames' big announcement a week or two ago. So we'll look forward to chatting with Lauren coming up next hour. All right, today, tickets went on sale to the general public, single-game tickets for the Huskers opener next August with Northwestern over in Dublin, Ireland, at a stadium that you had a chance to go visit a while back.
Yeah, so back in November, we went on kind of a site trip, and both Nebraska and Northwestern. It's part of the deal. You kind of go, and it's PR a little bit. You get a chance to see all the different things you can do outside of just the game, but then we also got a chance to check out the stadium. And I know they went on the visit before it got canceled, the year before. But so we weren't there with Northwestern, but crew from here went out there and got a chance to. It was a whirlwind of 48 hours. But one of the things we did we checked out all the ins and outs of the stadium, and it is a really, really cool setup. And so I wanted to give you guys a chance to hear from one of the guys that's helped putting on the event, Daniel Wynn. He is the ops manager at Aviva Stadium, where the game is going to be played. So I got a chance to talk with him back in November. Hey, Husker fans, I'm Jessica Coody with the Huskers Radio Network, and at a very special site, the Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland, home of the upcoming matchup between Nebraska and Northwestern next football stadium. I'm here with Daniel Wynn, the operations manager of the stadium. Well, first of all, how excited are you guys in this team to welcome in Nebraska and Northwestern for this football game?
We're massively excited. It's been such a long time since we've hosted a college football game. I think the last one was 2016. So yeah, we've had a couple of barren years here with COVID restrictions, so it's going to be great to host another college football game and invite a lot of Americans over, obviously, to the game. And we're just very excited. Yeah.
What a beautiful stadium and unique, and I think Husker fans are going to love kind of being able to check this out. But kind of give us a little background on this stadium, and you guys pack this thing out for all kinds of sporting events, right?
Yeah, well, we're the national stadium for rugby and football in Ireland, soccer instead of football, we call it. Obviously association football here, but so we pack it out, 50,000 fans. We've got two big games this weekend. We've got Ireland are playing Portugal in the soccer, and then Ireland are playing New Zealand in the rugby on Saturday. So yeah, the stadium got redeveloped about 10 years ago, so as you can see, it's pretty much brand new here.
And what will the fans here that live here in Ireland think about American football and this matchup between Nebraska and Northwestern?
Well, American football has gained a lot in popularity over the last few years, so I think we're going to gain a lot of more fans here next summer. So, yeah, I think a lot of people are really excited about having college football again.
And we were talking a little bit off camera about just the surface and the turf here. And can you kind of give us a breakdown of what that's going to be like for players? Because it's a mixture of artificial turf and real grass.
Correct, yeah. So it's a hybrid system. We've got 4% artificial turf here. As you can see, it's quite a wide pitch. We're going to narrow that for college football. It's about 100 metres long, so it's going to be a little bit less than 100 metres for the college football game, obviously. But yeah, so it's immaculate at the moment. We're preparing for the soccer and the rugby games this weekend. Yeah, so we have a lot of people on the sidelines for college football, obviously. For rugby and soccer, we put the coaches here. Your coaches will be a lot higher in the stadium. Our rugby coaches go into the coaches' boxes up there, which will be your replay booths and your stats booths. So we have a lot of changes, but yeah, it'll be nice to kind of ring in all the changes next summer and have a different event here, you know.
And for fans that are maybe thinking about traveling, give us a breakdown of the weather and what they can maybe expect and what they might need to pack for a game in August.
Yeah, you're going to need to pack for all eventualities in Ireland, I'm afraid. It's a lot more unpredictable. But August is the nicest month of the year in terms of weather, I think, anyway. So it'll be possibly low 20s and sunshine, hopefully. The last game we had a little bit of rain, but yeah, we're hoping that you'll bring the weather from Nebraska maybe next August.
And just for you and your team, kind of what's the next few months look like, the next 9 months leading up to the kickoff to get ready for both these teams coming in here?
Well, we've just started to pack the place out again because of the COVID restrictions. We didn't have a lot of fans over the last year, so this week we're going to have full houses for the first time in about a year and a half. Following that, then the Six Nations Championship is the rugby championship in around February or March, and we're hoping to have full houses for that. And then it's usually a fairly busy end to the season around May. And then after that, we're going to have we're hoping to have 5, maybe 6 concerts in June and July, followed by a pitch renovation, and then we'll have you guys in here in August. So yeah, it'll be a brand new pitch surface, and yeah, we'll have had a lot of full houses between now and then. So yeah, looking forward to the fixture.
All right, last thing I got for you. Any words, any messages you want to send to Husker fans that might be thinking about, making the trip over here?
Well, absolutely, make the trip. I mean, we're great at hospitality here in Ireland, so you'll definitely get a Céad Míle Fáilte, and yeah, just come over in big numbers and support the Huskers and make sure you make yourselves heard.
So you could see, if you're watching on the YouTube stream, really cool stadium. You had asked about the seating in the end zone. So just on one side, because there's a neighborhood on the other side, they couldn't build to block the sun. So that's a little shorter, but it's a unique kind of structure, and there's really not a bad seat in that stadium. And the turf is really cool because it's a mixture of artificial and real grass. And boy, they baby that thing, and because they play rugby, they play all kinds of sports in there year round. And the Ireland people, they love their sports, and even though they don't have college football, they're going to be so excited to see this game played over there in August.
What's around the stadium? Are there restaurants, bars within walking distance?
No, there's not a lot, but it's not like it's so spread out that you can't get to things. There are things that are close, but it's not like here where it's just right outside the stadium. But there are a lot of things to do that are pretty close around the stadium, and there's a lot of things inside the stadiums. They've got great concessions, and obviously they sell beer and Guinness inside the stadium as well. So the stadium inside itself there's a lot of concessions and things to eat and all of that. So, but it's just overall, the whole city of Dublin it's really unique, and I had never been outside of the country, and I was really grateful for the experience, and they're so nice. I mean, I try to tell people since I've gotten here how nice people are here, and I was telling people in Dublin about Nebraska nice. It kind of is comparable. Like, the people are really friendly, and they're so excited to have us come over and have that football game there, but there's lots to do, lots to see. Golf, I know, there's a lot of people that have asked me about the golf there. They have a lot of very world-renowned courses that you can get to that's really close within Dublin. But then if you go a little bit outside, you can see some courses that were in the British Open and all kinds of PGA type events that you can play at. And so we're going to continue to talk about this as we get closer, but it's going to be a fun event. And I know the players also are really excited to have the experience too.
Absolutely. It's going to be an amazing experience for these college athletes to get over there and do that. And for Husker fans who've been hearing about this for a couple years, I know they can't wait for late August to get here. He mentioned the temperature of 20. Obviously, he was talking Celsius. Those Europeans don't think about in Fahrenheit, but he was talking Celsius. So 20s would be in the low 70s. So that's, as he said, best weather they have the year is in August over there. Good stuff from over there. So, yeah, we'll continue to hear about that again. Folks, tickets went on sale today. If the ticket office, and then tomorrow, the spring game tickets go on sale for season ticket holders. To the general public for the spring game, those go on sale on Wednesday. But yeah, these Ireland tickets, I know people have been waiting for the single game tickets to come up. Those opened up here today. Nebraska 811 says, go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, and it's the law. Phone lines open, 402-413-2400. Give me a shout with a call or a text. Still love your take on if the Big Ten goes to do away with divisions and has 3 permanent rivals for you to play. Who would you like them to be? A lot of speculation that if they go that model, Nebraska's would be Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Is that who you want? You want somebody different in that batch of 3. We'll talk about that and other things next.
The game isn't just about winning or losing. It's about the snacks they share after they've used up all their energy in the field. It's the early morning practice before school and staying late after to get a couple more kicks in. It's the pride they feel for their team and the determination to always keep improving. Sure, the game isn't always about winning or losing, but when they've won the big game and celebration is in full swing, there's only one thing left for you to do. Get them home safe. Buckle up and back. Paid for by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Okay, let's get a photo of the bride and groom standing next to that giant mud puddle. Good. Now smile.
Oh, honey, don't look now, but you're covered in mud.
Oh, so is your white tux.
You know what this means, don't you?
Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery is back.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is the happiest day of my life. Don't you think we should head to the nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer?
I do.
Trucks and Bucks is back, and you could win one of 8 new trucks. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
At Subaru, they love building vehicles for those who pack a lot into life. The redesigned 2021 Crosstrek is their way of saying more power to you. An upgrade in horsepower means you have a world of fun and adventure waiting for you. And the Crosstrek comes with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru. Visit Deto Subaru at 27th Street and Jamie Lane in Lincoln or at DetoSubaru.com. Upgraded horsepower available on select models.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card. Free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Huskers fans, it's time to plan your dream trip to Ireland and see your team face the Northwestern Wildcats at Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland. Single game tickets are on sale now at huskers.com/Ireland. Start the 2022 season in the best way. Plan your dream trip to Ireland and see your team face the Northwestern Wildcats at Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland. Buy your single game ticket today at huskers.com/Ireland.
You could win a 2022 Porsche Macan from Porsche Omaha this season. 4 lucky Husker fans will have a chance to win a 2022 Porsche Macan if they make a putt on the court at halftime at one of 4 home men's basketball games this season. Each contestant will receive a pair of tickets, hospitality, and a visit with the broadcast team before one of the home games with Ohio State, Rutgers, Northwestern, or Iowa. For more information and the official rules, go to huskers.com/putt.
When you're a sports fan, it's kind of like having a new love interest. You want to know all about them. Only instead of learning about someone's third-grade crush, you want to know the latest scores, stats, and lineups. To get that, you need Cox Internet. Cox gives you that window to look deeply into your beloved team's soul. Not to mention their injury list. Cox, we're sports 24/7. Learn more at cox.com/sports.
Everyone knows that Dakota Mac is known for their great rates on long-term fixed ag real estate loans. But just how long-term are they? They're even longer-term than the silent treatment your mom gave you after she found out you backed over her peony bushes with the riding lawnmower. Even though it could have happened to anyone. Oof, talk about long-term.
Hello, it's Jim Persinger from Dakota Mac. Give me a call at 308-284-3260 to learn all about our competitive rates on 30-year fixed-rate loans.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. During the summer of 2021, 3 UNL students helped safeguard cattle across the state. Neely Anderson, Tatiana Jones, and Ashton Commons developed secure beef supply plans that prevent the spread of disease outbreak. The plans protect nearly 850,000 cattle across our state and provide greater economic security for this vital industry.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe Jessica Coody with you here on a Monday night. 402-413-2400, the number if you want to dot us up with a comment or a question. Bill in Portland on our text line said, I'm pretty much in favor of Minnesota, Iowa, and Wisconsin as being the 3 teams if that's what they go to for the new possible setup. I think that's what most Husker fans would have. Somebody else said, well, how about just Rutgers 3 different times? And there's a ha-ha in there.
I wonder, like, what the process is going to be to, if this is going to be what they decide to do, when it gets implemented, and how they kind of move this thing along.
Well, as Trev said, there's a lot of moving parts because of the alliance that they announced with the Pac-12 and the ACC. If they really want to go down the path where everybody plays a team from each of those conferences during the year, you probably have to cut back your conference games from 9 to 8. And then I think a lot of people, particularly some of those teams in the East, that are going, wait a minute, a lot of years we've had the second best team and we never get to play for the championship because Ohio State wins our division every year. That's why there's a push right now, I think, by some schools to do away with divisions. I don't know where Nebraska sits. I need to, maybe next month when Trev's in here, we ask him, what's your preference? What's the feel for you? Do you like? I personally like the divisions, and I'm seeing some chatter in the YouTube channel that they do too. They're like, why would you do it? I like the divisions and know you're going to play those 6 teams every year, and then you sprinkle a couple in from the East.
I do wonder, I mean, is there a rhyme or reason or a formula as to which teams you get scheduled on the other side, though? Because
it would rotate. I think it'd be kind of an even rotation.
Yeah, because you don't want to get stuck having, kind of like what Nebraska had this year. You had Michigan State, Michigan, and Ohio State all in the same year.
Murderers Row. Dennis said Iowa. He wants Northwestern and Penn State. Interesting. Nebraska's got a lot of history with Penn State. They're so far away, though.
Yeah.
That's a long trip back there.
That's a stadium I can't wait to see, though. It's a lot of history and tradition there, but there's a lot of teams, and the Big Ten they've gotten so much better, and even the bottom teams, so Indiana, right? I mean, a year ago they weren't this bad. So
they were good. They were Jeremiah's team.
Yeah, it's kind of like
them every week. That's why he lost.
I know, he was a fanboy of the Hoosiers over there, but it's I guess, how do you go about which teams go where? Like you said earlier, teams are different. Teams get better, teams get worse, right, and you can have a quick turnaround really quickly.
Yeah. So yeah, if you have some thoughts about that, you certainly can fire up comments or questions for us here on the program. Well, the NFL has now got a Super Bowl set, and congratulations to former Husker quarterback Zach Taylor, now the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. What a playoff run they have had. They beat the Raiders week 1 at home, then had to go take on the number 1 seeded Titans in Nashville. They took care of them, and then they had to go beat the number 2 seeded Chiefs in Arrowhead. Fell behind 21-3 in that game against the Chiefs, but rallied. It's the biggest rally in championship history to come from behind and win it in overtime over the Chiefs. Just huge congratulations to Zach. And Stanley Morgan. I need to throw Stanley in there as well. He's on a lot of the special teams units for the Bengals, so you got a couple Husker connections there. So proud of Zach and the job he has done. He's one of the youngest head coaches in the National Football League. Tremendous player here. He's only here a couple years because he transferred into Nebraska's program, but one of his years he was the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, really ran that system of Coach Callahan to a T, and I think it really prepared him to be an NFL coach. Zach was back here, I bet it's now been 4 or 5 years ago, because he went into Nebraska's Football Hall of Fame, and just the most humble guy. He was so thrilled with getting put into that Nebraska Hall that it was a real treat for him to come back. And then we told the story that when they won their playoff game over the Raiders, which was that franchise's first playoff victory in 30 years, that he went into a local bar, and just kind of celebrated with some Bengals fans. That was so cool, and that was just so Zach. He's just a really common people type of guy, and just so happy for him that has happened. And it's a battle of really young head coaches, because McVay at Los Angeles is a very young head coach as well. Neither guy is 40 years old, and here they are having their teams playing for the Super Bowl title in 2 weeks. Remember, they get the week off between the championship game and the Super Bowl, so the game is not until the 13th of February, but it'll be great. It's in L.A. at the home of the Rams, so for back-to-back years, the NFL Super Bowl is going to be played in the stadium of one of the teams. Last year, Tampa got to host. This year, the Rams get to host, although I read today that technically they're going to be the visiting team. I guess they have to use the visiting locker room, which would be the Chargers in that stadium, and so the Bengals will get to use the Rams locker room for that game. So again, huge congrats to the Bengals and Zach Taylor. Giant win for them to get in there. All right, I need to step aside and get a break in. Time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. That's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Phone lines open for you, 402-413-2400. More of the show coming up.
Isn't it about time to add a new piece of Husker gear to your closet? Check out the new 255 collection, inspired by the legendary coach Tom Osborne. With the mission to connect style with Nebraska pride, 255 was designed with the fan in mind. From Hastings to Lincoln, coach to statesman, leader to legend. Thomas William Osborne, it's all in the name. It's all in the numbers, 255 wins. This is TWO 55. Get yours today at shop.huskers.com or other participating retailers. For more information, visit huskers.com/255.
Attention anyone standing near a mud puddle. Trucks and Bucks is back, so take cover. The Nebraska Lottery's most popular scratch game is roaring down the road again. And this year we're giving away 8 blue 2022 Ford F-150 XLT Super Crew Flex Fuel trucks. So buy a $2 Trucks and Bucks ticket today. You could win a new Ford F-150 and make a real splash in your neighborhood. Ford F-150 is a registered trademark owned and licensed by Ford Motor Company. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like home like Sapp Brothers. For 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and been a reliable partner to local farms and Husker fans across Nebraska. providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment and welcoming guests into their travel centers. Visit www.sapbros.net. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Drive bold, drive GMC. You never know what lies ahead, so trust the powerful and innovative features of the 2022 GMC Canyon, or elevate your driving experience with the driver-focused technologies and handcrafted materials in the 2022 GMC Sierra 1500. Experience the difference at Woodhouse Buick GMC. We make it easy to shop, finance, and purchase in-store or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
Time to tell you what's on tap, presented by Bud Light. Tomorrow night, basketball, 2 games at the same time here on the network. The Husker women at home to take on Rutgers, 7 o'clock at PBA. Pregame coverage on some of these Husker Network affiliates at 6:45 with Matt Coady and Jeff Grease. The men are in Ann Arbor to tangle with Michigan for the second time this year. That one, 8 o'clock tip-off, 7 o'clock pregame coverage, again on some of these Husker Sports Network affiliates with Kent Pavelka and Jake Muehlheisen. The women again then in action on Thursday at PBA, 7 o'clock again with Penn State. It'll be a busy weekend for track and field as the Frank Savine Invitational will be going on Friday and Saturday inside the Devaney track. Wrestling has a Friday night match with Michigan, 8 o'clock. In fact, the Huskers' next 4 Big Ten duels all going to be televised on BTN. So if you can't get to the Devaney Center on Friday night at 8, BTN will have coverage of that. They will then travel to Penn State on Sunday to take on the number 1 ranked team in the country. Penn State won an unbelievable duel over the weekend with number 2 Iowa. So this is a big week for Mark Manning's group with Michigan on Friday night and then at Penn State on Sunday. And again, both of those duels will be on BTN. The Husker men's basketball team, their next home game, they're again on the road tomorrow night at Michigan, is Saturday at noon. Northwestern comes to PBA. We'll have the broadcast here on HRN with pregame at 11 a.m. on Sunday. The women will wrap up the week on the road after the 4-game homestand ends Thursday night with Penn State. They go to nationally ranked Maryland to play the Terps. That'll be a noon tip Central Time here on HRN with pregame coverage beginning at 11:45. So between now and next Sunday, the women play 3 times. Tomorrow, Rutgers, Thursday, Penn State, Sunday with Maryland on the road. The men have the game at Michigan tomorrow night, and then we'll be back home to take on Northwestern. Again, that's what is on tap, presented by Bud Light. Talking about if the story that The Athletic put out about the Big Ten wanting to, one scenario is to do away with divisions. The championship game would be the top 2 teams in the conference. And if they do that, one of the things they're talking about is having 3 permanent rivals and then have you rotate the rest of the league through your scheduling. Sue on our text line said Nebraska will get, this is great, Nebraska will get whatever is left. The original Big Ten will dictate the 3. FYI, in the SEC, they have a permanent rival. They do. And she says she has relatives in Tennessee, and their crossover every year is Alabama. And she says Tennessee really doesn't consider them a rival. Remember, folks, back when the Big Ten started, we had the Legends and Leaders divisions, and the Big Ten started that way. They had a permanent crossover, and Nebraska's was Penn State. That lasted until Rutgers and Maryland came into the league, and then they reshuffled the deck on the divisions again. Again, this is not set in stone. It's one option, and Trev Alberts addressed that last week as one option that they're talking about right now in the league. But one of the formulas has Nebraska's 3 permanents being Iowa, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. Let's go to the phones. Randy in Maxwell joins us next. Good evening, Randy.
Good evening, Jessica and Greg.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good. You know, my vote would be Iowa, of course.
Yep.
Minnesota, and Northwestern. You know, we can say we're in the same league right now as Wisconsin, but I don't think it's just like the old Colorado rivalries back in when they were still in the same conference with us. Colorado felt they were our rival, but I don't think we ever felt Colorado was Nebraska's rival. But Northwestern and Nebraska, that's been a good matchup. But Iowa, Northwestern, Minnesota would be my vote.
I think, Randy, I think I might lean with you. And I think Wisconsin, I don't really think looks at Nebraska that way. And so I know, Randy, Husker fans love to go to the Twin Cities, lots to do. And they love to go to Chicago, lots to do there as well. You might be able to pick off a Cubs game or see the Bears play the next day. So I don't think you get a lot of argument if that's what it ends up being. I think Husker fans probably think that'd be pretty cool deal.
Can I make one more comment?
Absolutely.
It's very, very popular in Husker Nation to dump on Callahan. All the guy did was brought us Ndamukong Suh and Zach Taylor. If that's all he did, that was a successful run.
Great point, Randy. Appreciate it. Thanks for the phone call. Always love hearing from you. And you're right. I think when people look back now on the Callahan era, it's not as bad as it maybe felt at the time. Now, there were certainly that team had some real deficiencies defensively. I think we all remember the pain of the rout Kansas put on the Huskers at the end of the 2007 season. Colorado hung 60-plus on the Huskers at the end of that year as well. But he did win a division title. The Huskers played for a conference title under Bill. But I think it was probably time. I think, Randy, it wasn't a disaster. But I think it was probably time for him to move on, and I think a lot of people probably have maybe looked differently at the Pelini years as well. I mean, I think that the Bo's temperament, sideline demeanor wore people down, but the results on the field, he always won at least 9 games every year. I mean, you could look back, some Husker fans, younger ones, will look at that and say, those are the glory days of Husker football, because young fans didn't experience the 90s. And so Bo's teams, at least 9. A couple years they won 10. At least 9, though, every year. There was a lot of consistency there. But, I think the Callahan era, he was a great recruiter. He was an incredible offensive coach. But I think he stuck too long with Kevin Cosgrove as the defensive coordinator. And Nebraska gave up a lot of points at the end of the Callahan era, and particularly that 2007 season as it came down. I think it was time for a change to move along. But do appreciate you chiming in here on Sports Nightly. Bill's son is the offensive coordinator for the Bengals, so he's on Zach Taylor's staff as an OC and doing a nice job in that role there. So there's a Callahan connection to the Super Bowl coming up in just a couple of weeks. Randy, appreciate the call. He called us up on our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. They're already asking for your Super Bowl pick. They want to get their wagers in or whatever. They want to get a hand up on their buddies. Have you got a lean yet for the Super Bowl?
I need to think about it. Well, we have plenty of time to talk about it.
2 weeks.
But, man, I thought the Chiefs were going to win, even though I was for the Bengals, so I wasn't, heartbroken by any means. But kind of wild how it shook out yesterday. Neither team that I picked going into last week won, so I don't know if people should rely on my expertise this week.
Did you not pick the Bengals?
No, I said I was for them, but I thought the Chiefs would win.
Oh, because there's some confusion in the chat room.
And then I also said the 49ers would win, so
They were leading, too.
Yeah.
They had a 10-point lead going to the fourth quarter.
I thought I looked really good in the first half of both games, and then it was downhill after that.
We have to remind me to talk about Tito's. Yep,
Tito's.
The vodka.
Okay.
I got to talk about that in hour number 2. Big deal they signed today with Texas. Coming up on the other side, Lauren Cook-West will join us. We'll talk some Husker volleyball. Huge news for that program, not only over the weekend, but over the last month. We'll get Lauren's take on all that coming up.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Step into the new year with a new Chevy. Discover the 2022 Traverse, Blazer, or Equinox. The Chevy SUV lineup brings more than looks to the table. Our SUVs come equipped with Chevy Safety Assist, so you can look and feel confident while driving. We make it easy to shop, finance, and purchase through our streamlined process. Find new roads and explore all our new inventory arriving daily at WoodhouseGM.com and at our dealership in Missouri Valley, Iowa.
Okay, let's get a photo of the bride and groom standing next to that giant mud puddle. Good. Now smile.
Oh, honey, don't look now, but you're covered in mud.
Oh, so is your white tux.
You know what this means, don't you?
Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery is back.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is the happiest day of my life. Don't you think we should head to the nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer?
I do.
Trucks and Bucks is back, and you could win one of 8 new trucks. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. The university has a new undergraduate business and law major. Students majoring in business and law are learning to use legal knowledge to better solve business challenges. They are also gaining skills in regulatory compliance, financial services, securities regulation, and corporate social responsibility. Upon graduation, they will boost the state's talent pool in these critical areas of expertise.
Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go is mealtime made easy. Just order delicious meals online for convenient curbside pickup or have it delivered. Want breakfast? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Need lunch? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Doing dinner? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Get pancakes, burgers, fried chicken, lasagna, Hai Chai Asian dishes, sushi, pizza, and more. If you're craving it, Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go has it with curbside pickup or delivery. Order today at Hy-Vee.com/mealtime.
Welcome inside the Acres Broadcast Center. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is your Sports Nightly Ticker. Husker men's basketball is on the road to Michigan ahead of their game tomorrow night against the Wolverines in Ann Arbor. Before they departed, Derek Walker sat down with the media to discuss the upcoming matchup and what he specifically learned defending the talented Michigan front court in their prior meeting with the Wolverines this season.
I need like 2 more inches of height. But no, I found throughout those games where I would pick up just stupid, just physical fouls. And I just realized I had to be more mental than physical, especially when playing big dudes like that. So yeah, to prevent myself from being in foul trouble, I just got to be smarter and make better decisions.
You'll hear more from Coach Hoiberg in this hour later on in the show. Huskers athletics were once again well represented by their freshmen in the Big Ten's weekly awards. Nebraska had not 1, not 2, but 3 student athletes bring home Big Ten Freshman of the Week awards following their performances last week. Women's basketball forward Alexis Markowski won the award for a 5th time this season after averaging 19 points and 7.5 rebounds in 2 wins last week. To top it off, Markowski also earned her first Big Ten Weekly Honor Roll award of her young career. Men's basketball guard Bryce McGowens won Freshman of the Week for the 4th time in his stellar freshman season, as the 5-star racked up averages of 26 points and 5 boards in contests with Wisconsin and Rutgers. He now sits 2nd nationally among true freshmen with 16.7 points per game. And men's gymnast Chris Heiser earned his first ever Big Ten Freshman of the Week award after scoring a career-best 13.45 on the floor in Michigan on Saturday, placing 7th overall at the meet against the Wolverines. Currently, women's gymnastics is holding a meet against Illinois. They trail in that one 49 to 48.725. Huskers track and field maintain their 12th overall ranking in the country this week in the latest UST FCCCA poll. And finally, remember that tickets are now on sale for the Huskers game against Northwestern that will take place in Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland in August. Visit huskers.com/tickets for more info. Looking around the college basketball scoreboard tonight, one Big Ten men's game is on, and it's now at half in that one. And we're looking up at the scoreboard here, and we don't have it in front of us, so apologies for that one. But later, it's tied now, 36 all, excuse me. And that one, there it is. After the replay comes off the board, it's about 2 minutes into the second half in that one. In the top 25, number 9, Duke and Notre Dame are at half, and it's 27-14 Blue Devils in that one. And at 8 p.m., West Virginia is down in Texas to battle Baylor. On the women's side tonight, 2 grade A Big Ten matchups are on the slate. Number 5 Indiana trails number 6 Michigan at half, 32-30, but that's a notable comeback for the Hoosiers, who came out of the gate slow in this one. They were trailing 9-0 to the Wolverines before they got back on the horse. And at 8 p.m., number 23 Ohio State will tip off against number 21 Iowa. That's the ticker. My name is Tim Mulhaupt, and you're listening to Sports Nightly on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Rebound Weidner. Huskers 5-point lead in the ball. Weidner right down the middle of the lane, running one hand. Baker good. Allison Weidner. Stand up, Free Nebraska. She's got 7.
Tries to jam it. Shot is blocked by Trey McGowens. Run down by Webster. What a defensive play. Here comes Trey. Webster. Trey McGowens to Bryce McGowens. The drive. Puts it up and in. Holy cow. The offensive play of the year for Nebraska.
Trapped in the deep right corner. Bounces back up. Moriarty scores off the assist from Monica Stewart, and another timeout by Wisconsin.
Great activity by Kendall Moriarty. And the return pass on the give and go. The skip pass, deep right corner, 3 on the way. Trey got it down. The Tracer with a tray.
Markowski for 3, and Alexis Freakowski. Another Freakowski for Alexis.
That, she hardly looked.
Holy cow.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
We're back, hour number 2 of our Monday show. Tomorrow night, only an hour, leading you up to, on some affiliates, our Husker women's game with Rutgers, and some other affiliates, our Husker men's game with Michigan tomorrow night. So full 2 hours tonight, just an hour coming your way tomorrow night. Great hour coming up. Going to talk to Lauren Cook-West of our own Husker Radio Network volleyball crew. A lot of volleyball news has been popping in the last couple of weeks, including a big announcement over the weekend with the Huskers getting a All-American transfer middle blocker from Penn State to join John Cook's squad for next season. We'll also hear from Allison Weidner, who had a big game for the Huskers yesterday as they continue to roll teams at PBA. Big win, 16-point victory over Purdue yesterday afternoon. And Fred Hoiberg had a press conference today before they departed for Ann Arbor. So we'll hear some of his comments about his team after their tough loss to Rutgers on Saturday, which kept them off the winning side of the scoreboard once again in league play. So we're going to talk to Lauren Cook-West. We're having trouble getting Andrew off the phone with her. So she's talking to Andrew, but I don't know.
It's been a while since they've chit-chatted, I guess. So
I think they're finished. Lauren, are you and Andrew done? Can we talk now? How are you? We miss you.
I miss you guys. I just have to catch up with everyone. And Andrew and I had a nice little conversation, and he's a crazy kid. I don't know how you guys deal with him every night.
That's an understatement. He's a crazy kid, no doubt.
There's been so much news. We just needed to get you on, and thank you for taking some time to join us with this. And let's kind of start with the most recent. How big a news is this for Husker fans with Caitlin Ford coming out of the Nebraska program?
Greg, I can't put into words how huge this commit is. And they've been talking with her since the season ended. So this has been a work in progress. She went into the transfer portal. Penn State, I think, finished in the second round.
They did.
I think that I can't remember who they lost. Pitt. They lost to Pitt. And so she went into the transfer portal immediately. She was talking with Nebraska. As soon as the season was over, they were planning her visit. So this has been a work in progress for a while, as is the case with most recruits. But the transfer portal is, I'm sure you guys have touched on it a lot on Sports Nightly, but it's a tricky situation, and I almost think it's more difficult to recruit kids, for coaches to recruit kids out of the transfer portal than it is just coming out of high school. So she's a 4-time All-American. I mean, everyone knows how good she is, and everyone's heard about her, and she's played for an incredible program with Penn State. But we need middle talent with losing Lauren Stivrins, and then Kayla Caffey is up in the air. I don't know, have you guys touched on Kayla Caffey's situation?
We've talked a little bit about it, and Coach Cook confirmed to us the other day that the paperwork's been submitted, but no official word yet, but hoping that it will be good to go, but nothing official yet.
Yep. So I mean, if something were to fall through there and she wasn't granted her 7th year, Caitlin Horde just provides more seniority in the middle, and you know you're going to have some young players in there, but now with a veteran player in Caitlin Horde, it's just a huge addition. And she also, I was talking with Coach Cook after her visit. She visited this past weekend, and he just said that her chemistry with the team was off the charts. I mean, they got along immediately. They were going out and doing things together. He said it already seems like they're all BFFs. So I think that's even more important than her talent is how she gets along with this group of girls, because they're a close-knit group of girls, and they're with Nicklin coming back, and you're really just losing Lauren Stivrins, Lexi's son, and then with Kayla coming back. So it's a group that's been together for a while, and bringing someone new in is always tough, but it sounds like she got along great with the entire team.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to ask you. I mean, you were a transfer, and you're talking about a player. She's coming in, only has 1 year of eligibility, and, you know, obviously has done big things on the court, but you're coming into this program that, you know, had a lot of, success last year, that has a lot of people coming back. How does she go about, getting herself established and in a position to where she can contribute in the way that everyone hopes and feels like she will?
Well, it sounds like she came in and started building relationships immediately. And I know that in the volleyball world is a really close-knit world. And so a lot of these girls knew her just through playing in the Big Ten together, and then probably from high school and club. So I think she already had some existing relationships, but just coming in and continuing to build on those relationships and to connect, especially it's so important for middles to connect with the setter. I mean, you want to be connected with the entire team, but the setters and the middles have to have a really special relationship, because that play, and when you set the middle, it's happening so fast that you just have to know where they're at. You have to read them. You have to know their voice. I mean, you have to be connected on another level. So as of now, Kennedy Orr is stepping into the setter position. So I think that's the most important relationship for Caitlin Horde to build upon. But it sounds like the girls love her. She loves the girls. I know there was a lot that happened at Penn State since the season ended, and a lot of girls that transferred. So I don't know personally. I haven't talked to anyone, but just from an outsider looking in, I think they were maybe having some internal chemistry issues. And so I think this is a breath of fresh air coming into Nebraska, where she's, welcomed and accepted, and is already starting to make strong relationships with her teammates.
Visiting again with Lauren Cook West here on Sports Sunday. Big news over the weekend with four-time All-American Caitlin Horde announcing that she's going to transfer to Nebraska to play her final year. You mentioned the name Nicklin Hames. That was some big news that came out, Lauren, a couple of weeks ago. What do you make of all that? How do you think that's going to play out?
First of all, I think Nicklin is one of my favorite people, because she's just so selfless and she works so hard. And it's obviously showing. I mean, she's willing to give up her starting position and still come back. I mean, she loves this team so much. Still come back, still work hard. Try to find a different position. And it's tough to go from setter to libero or outside. I think they're planning on using her as a libero or defensive specialist, but that would be like a quarterback going to play wide receiver or defensive backer. I don't know all the football terminology, but you get my point. Is you're changing, you're making a big change, and it's just so a selfless move from her. It's a smart move from her, though, because she gets to utilize the NIL deals and earn some money off of that. She gets to come back and potentially compete for another national championship. She gets coaching experience under Coach Cook, Jalen Reyes, Kelly Hunter. So it's a win-win situation for Nicklin.
How excited are you for Kennedy Orr?
I remember watching Kennedy Orr in 8th grade.
Oh, geez.
So this has been a long time coming. I love Kennedy. This is going to sound funny how I describe this, but the way she sets, it's almost like a men's setter. And I don't mean that in a negative way. If you ever watched men play volleyball, it's so effortless, so beautiful. The way the contact that they have on the ball, I think it's because their hands are normally so big. It's just butter coming out of their hands, or we call it nectar butter. And it's really cool to watch. And that's kind of how she plays, is her touch. She just has this beautiful touch on the ball, and the ball goes where it's supposed to, and she makes it look effortless. And she has a really high volleyball IQ, so she's very smart. She also does a great job using her peripheral vision to see where the opposing block and defense is going and moving, so she gets a lot of one-on-one situations for her attackers, which is why she's such a successful setter. And I can't wait to watch her lead this team.
Lauren, she and the rest of the team are now starting their beach season. How much can that help her and help all the players on this team to do beach?
Well, first and foremost, it gives them a break from playing on indoor volleyball. And sometimes you get a little bit of burnout, or your body gets tired from continually jumping on the court and landing on that hard surface. And so the sand is softer. It kind of refreshes your love for volleyball. You don't have that indoor burnout. So I think that's most important, is giving their bodies a break, and then just kind of helping them the mental aspect of the game. And then on top of that, the way you train for sand is very different from indoor. Even though you're still playing volleyball, it's just the way you train is significantly different. So they're learning new skills. They're moving differently in the sand, and that all helps. Even though it's very different, it will help down the road when they go train indoors in the fall.
Well, we got some coaching changes, coaching news to talk about as Jalen Reyes moves up. Kelly Hunter hired into the full-time assistant job there. Coach Cook's kind of like it's kind of like his players roster. He just kind of reloads his coaching staff when he needs to, right?
Exactly. Well, he always says that he loves to hire Nebraska people. So that's why you see a lot of former players that he's hired or people who were associated with the program. He loves to hire internally because those people understand the program and what's expected and the ins and out of it.
Well, the other question we're getting a lot right now is when's the next Kicking Back with the Cooks? It's been a while since you and Coach Cook have done a podcast. You got any updates?
I do. So first of all, I just have to say, the Huskers, I think, went way further than anyone predicted, making it all the way to the national championship match, especially with the draw that they had. So they went way later in December than we planned for. Then I think you guys mentioned this back in December, but the entire team and coaching staff, I think all except for maybe 2 players came down with COVID. So we actually, as a family, weren't even able to spend Christmas with Coach Cook because he was down and out with COVID. So that pushed back our holidays. We just waited and celebrated Christmas in January when we were able to get together with him. And then he took, that was beginning of January, and then he's like, I'm taking, a couple weeks off, which the man deserves a couple weeks off. He never takes time off. And even when he says he's taking time off, he's still doing recruiting calls, he's still watching video, he's still going 100 miles an hour. So he's like, I just need some downtime. I'm like, okay. So we're actually recording Wednesday, so 2 days from now, and then it should be out either end of this week or early next week. But we have a lot to talk about in Kicking Back with the Cooks, and a lot has happened, and we are hoping to have a special guest on. I don't think he'll make it on for this episode, but next month's episode, I'm sure a lot of people can guess who that will be, but we're hoping to have a guest on in one of the future episodes.
Lauren, on Wednesday, speaking of National Girls and Women in Sports Day, and obviously this volleyball team is big-time role models to a lot of young girls, and I know you were in that position as well, but when you were looking back maybe when you were kind of growing up, is there a woman in sports that really inspired you to get to where you were in sports?
I don't know if many people, I'm sure a lot of people remember her, but Misty May Traynor. She was an indoor player, then she went to the beach and played on the beach and won some gold medals, but she was just an incredible player. She was a setter, someone I looked up to. It seemed like she always, when she would run into fans, would give them time for a picture or an autograph. And so I just think that's so important, is giving back, because these fans, these little girls, their parents, they do so much to come to these games or support through watching TV, support this team and support these players. And so I think it's really important for the athletes to, especially women's volleyball players who are looked up to so much, to give back and to take time, when they do get noticed out in public. I know it, maybe you're in the middle of a dinner or you're out trying to get groceries, but I just think it's so important to give back to the community and just take time to take a picture, sign an autograph, or, give a hug to one of those young fans. And I think the Nebraska volleyball team does an incredible job doing that when they are out in public.
Absolutely.
Very
for
good.
Sure.
Lauren, thank you. Appreciate the time. There was so much news that has popped since that terrific Final Four run, and we don't want to bother you too much in your off season either, but we do appreciate you coming on.
I wish volleyball was year round. I'm having volleyball withdrawals, and we've only been done for a little over a month now, but thanks for having me on. It's always great to talk to you both.
See you, Lauren.
Bye, Lauren. Thanks.
Lauren joined us on our Sports Nightly Hotline, brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying, the save you time, shop finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. Great to hear from her. Glad that she and Andrew finished their conversation so we could get a few minutes with her.
Can't wait to hear the Kicking Back with the Cooks, because as she mentioned, a lot to talk about that they'll dive into, and get to hear so much more from them coming up. hopefully really soon.
Hopefully in the next week
Yep.
for that. Great to hear from her. All right, 402-413-2400, the number to dial us up with a comment or question or fire off a text. We'll come back and hear from Allison Weidner, who had a big game yesterday for the Huskers at PBA. That conversation is next.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery.
Hey, Bud Light!
I'm ready!
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Huskers fans, it's time to plan your dream trip to Ireland and see your team face the Northwestern Wildcats at Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland. Single game tickets are on sale now at huskers.com/Ireland. Start the 2022 season in the best way. Plan your dream trip to Ireland and see your team face the Northwestern Wildcats at Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland. Buy your single game ticket today at huskers.com/Ireland.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
You're in the driver's seat with Woodhouse. Shop, finance, and buy your next vehicle your way. From the comfort of your home at woodhouse.com or one of our 19 dealerships, we've got something for everyone. From new stylish SUVs that blend comfort and capability, or a pre-owned truck packaged for durability and everyday functionality. When it's time to upgrade your drive, shop confidently with Woodhouse, serving customers and communities since 1975. This is Woodhouse.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
From vintage sneakers to bacon-scented soap to water fountains for your pet, all can be had with a few simple clicks. Problem is, you never really know what you're going to get until they show up at your door. Introducing Ford Blue Advantage. It's used car buying that's built for you. Not only can you shop for used vehicles online, in person, or both, you can also test drive before you buy, so you know exactly what you're getting. Plus, get history reports, vehicle inspections, Ford warranties, and the expertise of factory-trained techs. Visit FordBlueAdvantage.com today.
Here is a before winter to-do list from J-Tech Construction. Let's start with windows. Triple pane window technology has saved homeowners countless dollars on heating and cooling bills. Siding serves a crucially important purpose, protecting your home and insulating it from adverse weather conditions. And don't forget about your roof. Designing your roof should be simple and painless, and J-Tech offers several payment plan options. One more thing on your to-do list, called J-Tech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers.
Is your business's data cabling outdated? Do you need help with fiber optic cabling projects? Give Kidwell a call. Kidwell doesn't just help you handle today's demands, they help you see beyond, making sure that every component works in unison to meet the demands of your growing business. Kidwell keeps your connections clearly labeled and organized, maximizes performance, and saves time when any maintenance or service is needed. Don't settle for patchwork quick fixes. Make Kidwell your technology partner. Visit KidwellInc.com. That's KidwellInc.com.
Hey Husker fans, this is Anne-Marie from the Nebraska Beef Council. Just like the Big Red wins on the court, you can win at the dinner table with great tasting beef. From steaks and roasts to ground beef and kebabs, there are countless ways to create a meal that will have your family cheering for more. Visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com for easy beef recipes, cooking tips, and meal inspirations. Beef, it's what's for dinner in Nebraska.
Brought to you by Nebraska's beef producers and their beef checkoff.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Monday night. 402-413-2400, the number to dot us up with a comment or question. Let's go to La Vista and Marvin. Good evening, Marvin. Welcome to the program.
Yes, I have a couple questions. First of all, welcome to Jessica.
Thank you.
Nice to hear a lady's voice.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
My first question is bowling. I was wondering, I heard that there were supposed to be new digs. If so, where?
I've not heard that, Marvin. I know they use the Sun Valley Lanes, which are over by Haymarket Park. That's where they practice, and they have a home meet there. I've not heard that they're going to have have you heard? I've not heard anything about that, Marvin. I'll ask around tomorrow, but I've not heard that.
Okay, well, I heard that while watching them win the title on Fox Network.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
They said something getting new digs.
Okay, I'll ask some questions tomorrow.
Okay, and then the other thing was, how far along are they on the building of the new weight room and trophy room?
It's coming along. It is right outside our studio down here, and so we get a good glimpse of it, and it's coming up fast, and they're making a lot of progress. We had Dave Ellis on the other day, and he said he's like a kid in a candy store because every day seems like there's so much progress being made, and I mean it is coming up really quickly. I know we've had a couple of questions asked. We'll try to get a shot or some pictures up for the YouTube stream watchers.
It's still, Marvin, and for everybody listening, it's still probably 16 to 18 months away from being done, so it's got a long ways to go, but they are starting to put steel up now. But
it's like what, in the fall, right?
I think it's
next fall, like
late summer of 23.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, about 18 months. But they're a little bit ahead of schedule, so they're doing well because the weather's been pretty good. They've been able to keep working throughout all this. But Marvin, I'll ask around about some bowling updates and see if I can get you that answer. Husker women yesterday able to pick off Purdue, keep the momentum going for this team. They're now back to 500 in the league play, and one of Nebraska's own, Allison Weidner, had a heck of a game.
Yeah, we've talked so much about her, even off air, how much we enjoy watching her play. I mean, she's just gritty and gutsy and isn't afraid, and they needed her. They needed a spark yesterday, and she came off the bench and provided just that. So got a chance to talk with her yesterday after the game. All right, well, 14 points, a career high for Allison Weidner. Oh, did you eat your Wheaties this morning or what?
No, I drank a 20-ounce Red Bull. Yeah. I was just kind of being aggressive, attacking the basket, and it was working really well, and just kept doing it, and it was working in my favor.
Yeah, once you came off the bench there, what were you seeing that kind of allowed you to be able to be so aggressive and attack?
I was just seeing, I think it kind of helps that Lex is pretty good, and they're kind of trying to stop her, so that kind of lets me get some lanes. And then I think in the second half they kind of adjusted, and then Lex kind of got 20 points. Just to have that duo there, I think that's kind of special and a lot of fun to play with her.
What has kind of allowed you to be able to be so strong and finish there and get all those and ones, to be so strong there as just a freshman when you were kind of seeing this contact for the first time?
Well, I grew up with two older brothers, and I play one-on-one against them all the time, and they're pretty aggressive with me, and they don't really take it easy on me, so I think that really helps.
Not just you, but a lot of players that come off the bench for this team really provide a lot of offensive scoring. And how big is that? How much pride do you guys take in that you guys are able to provide so much for this team?
I think it's really special to have so many people contribute, and you just don't really know who's going to have their night. And I think there was a lot of us today that had a pretty good game, and it's just a lot of fun to see everyone contribute.
As a Nebraska kid, look at all these girls that are lined up, and I know this is probably you at one point, but how special is it for you to wear this uniform and be able to be inspiring like this?
So special. I remember being in their shoes, going to Husker camps, and just dreaming of playing on this floor and wearing the N and Huskers across my chest, and I'm just really glad to be in this place.
Well, you've kind of become known for being part of the bench mob over here, but why has it been so important for you? I mean, you play big minutes. You could just be focused on that over here on the bench, but to be, supportive teammate over here as well, why has that been important for you?
All my other teammates are very supportive of me, and so to be supportive back to them and just the culture we have here, we're all super close, and I'm happy for each and every one of my teammates on the floor.
Well, listen, we talked about the bench mob on Sports Nightly last week, and we've got a lot of suggestions. Greg Sharpe wanting to know if curling might be in the repertoire coming up.
Yeah, for sure. Any suggestion we're probably going to do, so.
Because Olympics, right around the corner, maybe some skiing. I mean, can you give, our viewers a little bit of a sneak peek of what you guys are working on now?
Well, we broke out the golf today. I don't know if you saw it, and I don't know. Whitney said it kind of hurt her back, but we're probably going to do it again, and we'll probably do curling, skiing, whatever. We'll probably do it all.
You guys get back on the court, a couple quick turnarounds. Did it feel, you guys kind of feel like you're getting back to the rhythm that you were in before the pause there with the COVID protocols?
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely getting back in our rhythm and just competing every day in practice to make sure that we're ready to go for every game.
What was kind of the focus that you guys felt like you needed to kind of really focus on today to kind of continue to build and keep getting in that win column?
Probably defense. The Purdue's pretty good in transition, so just locating shooters and getting back on defense is pretty big today.
And another quick turnaround. I mean, you guys got 4 in a row, the rescheduled game with Rutgers. What's kind of the key to kind of get ready for that one now with another couple days rest?
Rest our bodies and compete in practice tomorrow and get ready to play.
Awesome. Thank you. Great game.
Thank you.
Greg, you heard it. They're going to do curling at some
Nice.
point, hopefully. So you'll have to be on the lookout for
I
that.
will. I'll look for that. She's just been such a fun player to watch. I love her. Her sense of the game. She just knows the game so well, and I like players like that. And I know her bigger role will come as her career moves on, but good start.
Yeah, and it's almost like you I knew that Amy Williams was excited about these freshmen and knew that they would be able to provide an immediate role, but you didn't really, need it, coming into this season because you had so many players coming back. But I think they have made it impossible to not
Agreed.
put them on the court. And, the moments haven't been too big. And, obviously Alexis Markowski's been the one that's really shown in, with so many Big Ten Player of the Week awards and probably going to be Big Ten Freshman of the Year. But, there's Kendall Moriarty as well. I mean, both of those, all 3 of those players have just been big keys to this team and are going to continue to be this year and especially moving forward.
Good to hear from Allison again tomorrow night. Huskers and Rutgers, 7 o'clock at PBA. Pregame coverage on some of these stations at 6:45 tomorrow night. Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. 402-413-2400. More of the show, including some comments from the head basketball coach, Fred Hoiberg. He had a presser today before they departed for Ann Arbor. That's coming up next.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today we're tackling the issue of GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. GMOs may sound scary, but they're actually benefiting our environment and consumers. That's because GMO crops help solve specific problems like insects, food waste, and droughts. By selecting good traits from one plant or organism and adding them to another, farmers are safely using science to produce high-quality foods better than ever before. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
Momentum. It's building at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. With game-changing work in precision agriculture, nanoscience, and digital humanities. We're unlocking mysteries in brain research, solving the impossible with remote surgery using robots. And we're creating bold futures with world-leading research in early childhood education. We don't slow down, and we're not letting up. We are Nebraska.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today's topic, animal agriculture. There's been a lot of talk suggesting that giving up meat is good for the environment. However, livestock emissions only account for less than 4% of greenhouse gas emissions, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. Also, by reducing meat in your diet, you're missing out on all sorts of beneficial nutrients like protein, iron, and zinc. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he's so cold. The furnace is out again. But wait, he sees an opening. SOS! SOS, he screams and calls 391-2336. SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer. Boy, he made the right call today as SOS is already on the way. SOS is your trustworthy company since 1950, and with Luxair, you get free 10-year labor warranty with the new system. Call 391-2336 or visit soshvac.com today.
Attention anyone standing near a mud puddle. Trucks and Bucks is back, so take cover. The Nebraska Lottery's most popular scratch game is roaring down the road again. And this year we're giving away 8 blue 2022 Ford F-150 XLT Super Crew Flex Fuel trucks. So buy a $2 Trucks and Bucks ticket today. You could win a new Ford F-150 and make a real splash in your neighborhood. Ford F-150 is a registered trademark owned and licensed by Ford Motor Company. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
See beyond traditional security with Kidwell. Kidwell's experts collaborate with its data cabling and IT teams to design and install surveillance camera systems that integrate with your network, are easy to manage, and can be accessed from anywhere. The Kidwell team assures every piece of technology performs seamlessly and creates greater confidence and a higher level of protection for your business and staff. From video surveillance to information technology to data cabling. See beyond to what's possible at KidwellInc.com.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
Hello, I'm Tom Osborne.
And I'm Coach Frost.
Statistics prove that youth who are mentored and receive support and guidance from a caring adult show measurable improvement in academic achievement, motivation to succeed, and hope.
Over the past 30 years, Teammates has served more than 43,000 youth, and right now there are more than 1,000 waiting for a Teammates mentor to visit with them once a week in school.
For more information on how you can help the Teammates Mentoring Program, please go to teammates.org, and thank you for supporting our youth.
Sponsored by Nebraska Crossing Fast Cash app.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Monday night, 402-413-2400. At this time tomorrow night, the women will be underway. The men will be about ready to play as they have traveled to Ann Arbor to take on the Michigan Wolverines. Huskers did not have Alonzo Verge Saturday night in the Rutgers game, and they missed him. And here's the coach talking about his availability for the game tomorrow.
Yeah, just as we commented last after the game against Rutgers, Alonzo, about an hour before the game, found out a very close family member had passed away. He was going to be in uniform that game. We decided it was best that he did not. Talked about him, getting out of there, going either home or back to his apartment to grieve. He wanted to be there for his teammates. He has been back in practice. He was back today. We anticipate him being in uniform tomorrow.
Oh, you hate to hear that. I mean, you got to remember, these are young folks that are dealing with life issues like that, losing a grandparent or an aunt or a parent. God forbid they lose a parent, but those are traumatic things for young people.
Well, especially right before a game like that.
Yeah.
That can just completely throw you off. And, if he's not there mentally and, as far as being able to contribute in a way that is going to be helpful for the team, but he, wanted to be there. So, he was right there on the bench and in the huddles and whatnot. So hopefully he's dealing and with everything and maybe basketball will be able to be an escape for him and he'll be able to be out on the court soon.
Well, this team coming off the COVID pause, they've now played 2 games. The coach was asked about a health update and can they start getting back into better game prep now that they have everybody back?
Yeah, everybody's doing okay. Yesterday was, we worked a lot on execution, and we put in the game plan. We introduced it. Today we guarded in the game plan and got up and down. We went pretty hard today for a day before a game because we didn't do a ton yesterday, and it's a 9 o'clock start Eastern time for us tomorrow. So we'll get another opportunity in the morning in a shoot-around type situation, but it's good to get back out there on the floor today and get up and down with our guys.
Tim has been telling you that Bryce McGowens was named the Freshman of the Week again in the Big Ten Conference, had a huge game. But what about his brother Trey, now back and playing, got the foot injury behind him now? The coach talked about his effect, Trey's effect, at least particularly on the defensive end of the floor.
Yeah, I mean, obviously having Trey back is huge for our team. I mean, you just see the energy he brings, and it's infectious out there. It just carries over to everybody, even the Indiana game. I thought Alonzo's ball pressure was phenomenal, and a lot of that had to do with Trey being out there and setting the tone for us on that end. Bryce has grown in a huge way on the defensive end, and a lot of that is because he's figuring out the physicality in this league. He's doing a better job of absorbing contact on both ends. He's getting to the basket again, 18 free throws in the game the other day, getting back to where he was earlier in the season, and then he's shooting the ball a lot better. So, just, again, you have to have that defensive energy, like we've had since Trey's been back, and if we have it, we'll give ourselves a chance on most nights.
It has made a big difference,
Absolutely.
I think.
And that's why, I'm not worried, Greg, about if this team's going to shut down because they haven't, found the win column yet because of Trey McGowens and Bryce McGowens. And Bryce is playing with a lot of confidence right now and potentially playing with his brother the final time. And so I think you can tell that it means a lot to them to be out on the court together. And Trey's not going to come out. He's going to give it his all, no matter what, on the defensive end, try to set the tone and play his role. And the way Bryce is continuing to string games together, I mean, it's just those two can really set the tone, and it gives you a chance, you would think, to be in most games. Now you got to find a way to get over the hump, and I know Bryce would like to have an opportunity to have a game winner because he's had a couple of opportunities and hasn't really been able to come through with that basket that gets them over the top there at the end. So I think they're going to continue to fight and play hard together and for each other at the very bare minimum for each other, because of those two, you never know how much time they're going to have left playing together.
Those two together is why there was so much optimism going into the season. People envisioned those two finding a rhythm together, and then game 3, Trey gets hurt. He's out for 2 months, misses about half the season because of that. But now you're starting to see that a little bit, and you saw back-to-back really tight games against Wisconsin and Rutgers because of that. All right, now Michigan tomorrow. Michigan's got 7'1" Hunter Dickinson, who's a nightmare to guard because he can step out, shoot the three. They've got some other bigs that can give you some problems. The coach is talking about the challenge for Nebraska's bigs to try to defend hard but stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah, I mean, it's, again, that's where you have to try and mix your coverages. They, at the 4 or 5, are the biggest in the league. Indiana's up there as well with Thompson and with Trace Jackson Davis, but with Diabate and with Hunter Dickinson, and then bringing Brandon Johns off the bench at the 4 as well, they just pose a lot of problems because of their size. Lat at the 4 is really doing a good job guarding for us right now, and he gives you the size and versatility to play against multiple players. CJ, giving up a lot of inches, but he's battling every night. And Derek and Eduardo are just, they're flat-out warriors out there battling bigger, stronger guys every time they step on the floor. But, yeah, it's going to be important. Try to stay out of foul trouble when we do get in, and we've tried to mix up our defenses, tried to play some zone. But ideally, yeah, you keep your key guys out of foul trouble and go out and compete as hard as you can and hopefully give ourselves a chance.
I thought that was Lat Mayen's best game of the year.
He played really well.
He only scored 5 points, but he had 8 rebounds, no turnovers, hit a big three-pointer, and was just so big rebounding the basketball. I mean, that was the best, I think, overall rebounding game that they've had all year, but Lat was a big part of that.
I thought he played pretty well against Wisconsin the game before, so maybe he's kind of finding his niche, his stride. I know Husker fans are maybe dreading this game a little bit tomorrow because Michigan really put it on Nebraska here back in December, but we found out afterwards Nebraska was really dealing with the influenza. That they had a bunch of guys sick and weak, They were a step slow that night. I think they'll put up a decent fight tomorrow. And I don't have any idea about Michigan. Some nights they look great. Some nights they look really average. They're about a 500 team. They've been a huge disappointment this year. So I don't know. I mean, I'd like to think the Huskers can hang around in this game.
Yeah, and they've been doing some things well, and they've been playing better, and can't get over the hump at the end of games. But like you said, they've hung around with some teams that maybe a lot of people didn't give them much of a chance to. And so if they can find a way to, even though not coming out in the win column, and as disappointing as that was, because you felt like you let one slip away, if you can not kind of get hung up on that and continue to find ways to build confidence and take positive things away, they're going to find a way to get in the win column. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I
thought it was Saturday.
We've heard Coach Underwood said the other day about how that team's going to beat some teams because they have the potential to win some games that maybe people don't think they're supposed to. So, and
Michigan probably not going to take them very seriously because they know they pounded Nebraska back here in December. So maybe tomorrow night, hopefully this team can hang together and go out and put on a good effort in Ann Arbor tomorrow night, 8 o'clock tip-off time from the Chrysler Arena up there in Ann Arbor. Buckle up, put that phone down. It's a reminder for the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Our phone lines open and available for you. 402-413-2400. Call or fire off a text. We're back to name our weekend winners coming up next.
From vintage sneakers to bacon-scented soap to water fountains for your pet, all can be had with a few simple clicks. Problem is, you never really know what you're going to get until they show up at your door. Introducing Ford Blue Advantage. It's used car buying that's built for you. Not only can you shop for used vehicles online, in person, or both, you can also test drive before you buy, so you know exactly what you're getting. Plus, get history reports, vehicle inspections, Ford warranties, and the expertise of factory-trained techs. Visit FordBlueAdvantage.com today.
Okay, let's get a photo of the bride and groom standing next to that giant mud puddle. Good. Now smile.
Oh, honey, don't look now, but you're covered in mud.
Oh, so is your white tux.
You know what this means, don't you?
Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery is back.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is the happiest day of my life. Don't you think we should head to the nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer?
I do.
Trucks and Bucks is back, and you could win one of 8 new trucks. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese. He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe in a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
For a free insurance review, see agents Matt Moorhead or Joanne Shamanik in Lincoln today.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, buy online, woodhouse.com. Update from out at Devaney. They're through 3 rotations. The Huskers and Illinois making up a duel that got canceled because Illinois had COVID issues a few weeks ago. It is really tight, 146.9 to 146.575 at Illinois. So they're about to go to the 4th and final rotation. So maybe they can pull it out on the floor.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, they've kind of switched the lineups a little bit throughout these few competitions that are early on here. So I don't know who's in the lineup, but I know they were really excited about some of their floor routines. So hopefully they can deliver here. This is, normally teams aren't as good on the balance beam as teams are on the floor most of the time. I mean, I'm not a gymnastics expert, but a lot of times this is where you can see maybe make up some points here on the floor compared to the balance beam, which is a little bit more difficult. And so hopefully they can find some points here and come out with a win.
Huskers trail by 0.3 of a point going to the final rotation. All right, I mentioned I wanted to talk about Tito's. Yeah, I know it's the vodka. But they're also a big supporter of Texas athletics. They announced today a $20 million gift to the University of Texas Athletic Department to help build new basketball practice facilities for the men and women. Wow, how about that?
Wow. That's unbelievable. Because they were already, I think, a title sponsor, one of the sponsors. Because I think Texas, since they have alcohol, they have a beer sponsor, a wine sponsor. Yep. They've kind of like an official, different kind of alcoholic beverage that's their official sponsor. So, man, Tito's coming through.
Good for them. And also, the Bengals into the Super Bowl and the Cincinnati Public Schools.
That was my winner.
The public schools
Yeah.
announcement? Oh. Let's get into our weekend winners.
I didn't know if we were going to keep going, if we were going to fit it in.
I'll stop. You can finish it.
But yeah, no, the Cincinnati Public Schools are going to give the kids the day off after the Super Bowl. How about that?
That's awesome.
So no school on February 14th.
You know, didn't we talk? We talked a few weeks ago about should the Super Bowl be on Saturday, and then that kid started the petition because then everybody could recover on Sundays. A lot of people think Mondays ought to be a holiday because everybody has Super Bowl parties.
That's what I'm saying. Just make it a holiday.
Make it President's Day.
Yeah.
Just do President's Day on that Monday after the Super Bowl. And
let us all have Monday off. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's your winner. My winner is Rafael Nadal. Won his 21st major. I got up Sunday morning. The match was still going on. It was a 5-hour and 21-minute match. Can you imagine sitting out there running back and forth, hitting, stopping, the stress on your legs, your knees, your ankles? But the 35-year-old Nadal is now the record holder, 21 majors. He's one ahead of Federer. He's one ahead of Djokovic. Number 21 for Rafa Nadal. It was
Is
great.
he the GOAT?
No, because I think all three are right there together. I think it's kind of a three-way tie with those three guys. It was only his second Aussie title. He's obviously dominated the French on clay, which is his strongest surface. But for him to win that at age 35, pretty cool moment. I love watching tennis. That was great. I woke up Sunday morning, flipped it on. Chris Fowler, I follow him on Twitter. He told me it's still going, so I flipped it on and watched the end of the match.
I think it's so cool to see how the advancement of some of these athletes that, at one point would have been told too old. I mean, look at Tom Brady.
Is he retired or not?
No, I don't think so. Well, he wants to do it his own way,
Which he should.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be the loser. ESPN would be the loser if
Adam
we had
Schefter.
a weekend loser, but we don't. So, these athletes should, whether they're making a commitment to a school, all of the above, retiring, let them do it how they want to do it. A lot of these people got to break the news, but kudos to those older athletes, LeBron James, just all these guys that are, breaking those walls down that used to be too old, quote unquote.
That's right. Phil Mickelson won the PGA last year at age 51 for Phil. Cool stuff to see. The athletes are just staying in better shape. They're doing nutrition. They're doing all those things. It's elongating careers.
Absolutely.
Neat stuff.
It's awesome to see, and it makes it fun because then you're able to keep the goats around a little bit longer.
Buckle up, put that phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Good show tonight. Only an hour tomorrow, but we'll get you all ready for the women's game against Rutgers, the men's game against Michigan. Thanks to Tim, to Jessica, and all of you for listening tonight. Have a great night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
United Healthcare believes small businesses are vital to our economy and an important part of our communities. Join United Healthcare in celebrating small businesses. I'm Rob Broomfield, United Healthcare of Nebraska CEO and a graduate of the University of Nebraska. We want to recognize your small business with the Spotlight on Small Business Sweepstakes. Winners receive radio interviews, social media recognition, and more. To enter, visit huskers.com/spotlight. United Healthcare, proud partner of Husker Sports.
You could win a 2022 Porsche Macan from Porsche Omaha this season. 4 lucky Husker fans will have a chance to win a 2022 Porsche Macan if they make a putt on the court at halftime at one of 4 home men's basketball games this season. Each contestant will receive a pair of tickets, hospitality, and a visit with the broadcast team before one of the home games with Ohio State, Rutgers, Northwestern, or Iowa. For more information and the official rules, go to huskers.com/putt.
Here is a before winter to-do list from J-Tech Construction. Let's start with windows. Triple pane window technology has saved homeowners countless dollars on heating and cooling bills. Siding serves a crucially important purpose, protecting your home and insulating it from adverse weather conditions. And don't forget about your roof. Designing your roof should be simple and painless, and J-Tech offers several payment plan options. One more thing on your to-do list, call J-Tech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers.
When you're a sports fan, it's kind of like having a new love interest. You want to know all about them. Only instead of learning about someone's third-grade crush, you want to know the latest scores, stats, and lineups. To get that, you need Cox Internet. Cox gives you that window to look deeply into your beloved team's soul, not to mention their injury list.